Object oriented design and programming. Object oriented programming concepts. Object oriented programming is a way of designing software that focuses on objects rather than just functions and logic. Think of objects as things that have both data and behaviors like real world objects do. For example, imagine a car object. It has data like its color, make, and model. It also has behaviors like starting, accelerating, and braking. In object oriented programming, we bundle these attributes and behaviors together into a single unit called an object. So we have some features of object-oriented programming. So they are classes, objects, methods, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. So we are going to discuss about object. So the idea is to organize code around these objects, making it easier to manage large and complex programs. It's particularly useful for software that needs frequent updates or maintenance like manufacturing systems or mobile apps. A key goal of object-oriented programming is to protect an object's data. Only the object's own functions should be able to directly access or change its data. This is called encapsulation, and helps prevent errors and makes code more secure. Okay, so here we can see the classes. So classes, it's like a blueprint for creating objects. It defines what data and behaviors all objects of that type will have. So you might have a car class that defines what all car objects will be like. So for example, we have some class name as professor. Also we have class name as engineer. So engineer have the attributes name as name, gender and status, and the responsibility is nothing but the operation. Same like the professor having the name, gender and status, also the responsibility as a method. So here see, this is the nothing but the attributes, or we call it as a data members. And next one is about the method or member function. So here we are using the responsibility. Same like, okay, so here we can see some real-time examples. So we know these people are actors. So what will be the class name? Yeah, and what will be the object name? So object name is nothing but individual actor name will be coming under a object name, and class name will be the common characters of this person. So nothing but the actor. So data members, what will be the data members? So commonly we can tell name, age, gender, status, total films can be taken as a data members. And what will be the member functions? So it may be a current project. Same like we can have different objects name, for example person, vehicle, polygon, account, then city, computer. So these are some of the examples for the object, and each object will be having the data or attributes and the functions. Next one is about the data abstraction. So data abstraction is all about simplifying things. It's like when you use a microwave, you don't need to know exactly how it heats your food. You just need to know which buttons to press. In programming, data abstraction means showing only the essential features of something and hiding the complicated stuff inside the behind the screens. So the great example of this is a TV. When you use a TV, you just need to know how to turn it on, change the channels and adjust the volume. Don't need to understand the complex electronics inside that, how it works. That's data abstraction in action. You are interacting with a simplified interface while all the complicated parts are hidden away. So here we can see an example here using abstraction. So we no need to think about how the engine will work for the car. So just we can use by driving, and we can enjoy the driving in that way. So if you are going for the without abstraction, then we'll be get fully confused about the engine, how it will work and how far it will be connected with other parts, etc. So next one is about the encapsulation. So here It's closely related to abstraction, but it's more about packaging things up and controlling access. Imagine a secure box where you keep important items. You decide what goes in and what's come out and who gets to open it. That's kind of like encapsulation in programming. Encapsulation means bundling the data and the methods that work on that data into a single unit, usually called a class. It's like a creating a protective bubble around the inner works of your code. So here we have the three levels of accessing. So we can see one example. So example is nothing but the car. So car have different models, speed, engine, speed limit. Then what are the functions? So everything is wrapped into a single unit. So we call that is a car as a class. So this is nothing but the encapsulation. So it have like three type of access rights. One is about the public, and then one is private and protected. So public is nothing but anyone can access this. Private, no, only the class itself can access this, and protected means only the class and its subclasses can access this. Next one is about the inheritance. So inheritance also introduce concepts like polymorphism and inheritance. Inheritance allow you to create new classes based on existing ones inheriting their characteristics. For instance, you would have a sports car class that inherits from the class car class, adding some extra features. So we can see some examples here. Like see here, this is the inheritance parent class. Parent class have two derived class. Same like animal. Animal is nothing but the base class, and animal has having some derived classes name as lion, hippo, tiger, dog, cat, and wolf. So the common characters will be shared with the derived classes. Next one is about the polymorphism. So polymorphism means many forms. It allows objects to behave differently based on their specific type, even if they are treated as the same general type of object. For example, different types of cars might all have started method, but each might implement it slightly differently. So here next one is about the message passing. In object-oriented programming, objects communicate by sending messages to each other. This is just a fancy way of saying they call each other's methods or functions. The beauty of object-oriented programming is that it helps organize code in a way that mirrors real-world relationship between things. This can make programs easier to understand, maintain, and expand time.